Good morning, everybody. Oh, I don't think my mic was on. Good morning, everybody. Can you see me and hear me? Good morning, everybody. Can you see me and hear me? Thank you, Peachy. Thank you, Jill. Okay, let me go back up here. Hope everyone had a Okay, hold on. Let me make sure that's still moving. Okay, it is. I did not know there was a mute button at the top of my microphone. Okay, is my daughter's car problem something minor? Will it be an easy fix? I kind of get this feeling like easy fix, but maybe a little bit more than she would ideally like to spend to get it moving again. Right now, stuck. Her. I would say quick fix, but maybe a little costly. Will I meet my soulmate and when? Any details on him, profession, age, etc. Will we meet through work? Hierophant, your future commitment. 7 of Swords. This is the person that comes along and gets you to realize why you had to go through certain things in the past that hurt you. This is the person that makes the past experiences make sense. That doesn't mean a trauma bond. It just means you'll understand what one another has gone through so that you won't have to repeat that again. I don't feel like you're going to meet through work. No. I'm having surgery November 7th. Will it be good or will they find more? Will it be good or will they find more? Is it possible the surgery goes good, but then there's something that like we need to look further into this that we discovered during surgery, but either it ends up being okay or there's a solution. So I feel like the surgery goes good, but there may be a little bit of like a prolonged healing period, but that may be because of what else needs to be checked, if that makes sense. But if that's the case, then there's a solution for whatever that is. I have the wrong banner. Hold on. There we go. Okay. How did just go into the banner move this whole thing? 1 second. A cardinal was in my garden this morning. Messages from my spirit guides and a song. Torn by Natalie Imbruglia. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Torn. This is torn. Torn between two. You're meant to go with which you have some kind of decision that you're making, right? Or you're about to. And you're meant to go with whichever one feels like there's more treasure to be had. Okay. So, like the one that has the most growth or the one that has the most potential. It may feel like the other one's a comfort zone, but you're meant to go with the decision that would make you feel like it's an opening of a treasure chest. Should I rent the lake cottage from P? Can I jump timelines and manifest home sooner? Should you rent the lake cottage from P? I feel like that's a good decision as like a transitionary energy, like not meant to be thinking of it long term, maybe even having the end date in your own, everything in place to transition when it's time. Can I manifest home soon? Ace of Pentacles would be a yes. 7 of Swords is a need to change the strategy though. What do I need to know going into this job? What do I need to know? Be mindful of what you tell to certain people. It may be that this is an environment where people like to step on one another to get ahead. Especially when it comes to someone who may look at you like, oh no, they could do my job better. So I don't know if that's like a supervisor or just like someone who's already in the same position as you, but it's been there longer. It's kind of like, don't trust anyone until it's earned type of thing. Feels to be even if they appear to have like a friendly face. What is my dad's energy right now? How does he feel about me? Blocked out from what you're building or blocked out from what you're doing. I feel like you're building something and I'm not a part of it. 10 of Swords. And it feels like if that's the case, he takes responsibility for that, even if he doesn't tell you that. Like, you're building something, I'm not a part of it, but that's my fault type thing. Message from my spirit team. You're meant to quite literally go back to the drawing board on something, the blank card. Go back to the drawing board, restart from the blueprint of something. Almost like take the path less traveled, or if you were in a situation where you were choosing between paths, you got everything you needed off of that one. You're meant to be going on the other one now, but you needed to go on that one first to have the experience to go on the other one. So back to the drawing board seems to be the message. Message from my spirit guides. Whatever obstacle ahead of you right now, you're being called to keep pushing forward. It's like you're not meant to go around the obstacle. You're meant to go right through the obstacle. Queen of Cups. This feels to be like a test of healing when it comes to not numbing your emotions. And whatever the obstacle is, it's triggering emotions that you don't want to feel, but you're being called to keep going right through it because that's part of the test there. What made Sarah change her mind about accompanying me tomorrow? What made Sarah change her mind? I make a decision to listen to the combative thoughts or advice. It kind of gives the energy of like someone told me it wasn't a good idea, or someone told me or what someone said to me made me feel like I can't handle this. It feels to be coming from externally, and then I panic and change my mind. Token for the week. And Linda Sue, Human by Christina Perry is playing. That may be significant there. I think that's tarot cards. Hold on. Number 30. Yeah, tarot answers, asking for guidance. Seeking answers, asking for guidance. Seeking God, you are, or someone is to you. There's going to be like an emotionally charged conversation this week to figure out a solution to something. I almost want to say to you, it's okay to cry in those kind of conversations. You don't have to run from the conversation if your emotions start to come up, feels to be the thing. Any message from my mom? I'm going to go to the other list in a second after this one. Any message from my mom? Oh, there she is, the Empress. The moon. 1 second, I'm getting a song. Don't Worry Baby by the Beach Boys. It says shut down on the cover. Six of Cups, the moon. Something from the past is resurfacing so you can release it. Be that a memory that doesn't fit right, be that a mindset or a past choice. Whatever's coming to the surface, it's so you can release it or so you can choose differently. So trust yourself here. 1 second. Let me go to this list for a minute. Hey, Suzanne, good morning. One of these for you. Oh. You'll never be placed in a storm you can't navigate yourself out of. The universe doesn't want you to break down. It wants you to break free. That kind of goes with the song that's playing too. I'll Keep On by NF. Kind of feels like a 1 foot in front of the other message. You're going to create movement even if you're just putting 1 foot in front of the other. Letting you know that that's enough. SOS. Vicar David is coming in today to clear negative energy. Can I get him to do the blessing also? Will that work until I can get Father Derek in? I'm a bit nervous having a void. To clear the can I get him to do the blessing also? The star here to me would be the blessing. What has been poured into him, he then pours out for you. Queen of Cups, pouring into you, pouring for you. So to me, this would be emptying out and replacing. So I do feel like that's a yes on can you get him to do the blessing? Will that work until you can get Father Derek in? King of Cups. The balance, yeah. See how they're back to back? It's okay for one to come and then the other to come separate. I would say yes to both of them. What would my spirit team like to tell me and a token? The sun with number 26. For some reason, 26 feels like, oh, so that's 10 days from now. 26 is not this Saturday, but next Saturday. What would your spirit team like to tell you about by next Saturday or on next Saturday? The Empress, King of Wands, the Sun, and King of Swords. There's some kind of divinely orchestrated choice that's going to be presented to you. And you're meant to choose the one that feels like it would be you from a healed perspective of the wound that's been resurfacing. So you've had a wound resurfacing. By next Saturday or on next Saturday, you're going to be given some kind of decision. And the decision is, if I'm in my healed energy from this wound, I would choose this. It's going to be a hard decision, it feels, but it's going to be the right decision if you judge it in that way. Any guidance for my sister, Kayla? Ooh, that's like stand your ground, trust your mind. Trust your mind to the action that feels right. Stand your ground feels very significant. Stand your ground and speak on, like, stand your ground unapologetically and boldly, because in standing your ground, the right action will come from that. Let me get a song. It feels like that needs a song. 1 second. Broken by Seether and Amy Lee is the song. Will the next Euro give me what I need to file a settlement? Will the next Euro give me what I need to file for a settlement? You're gonna have to fight for something here. Either they give you some things that you need, but not everything you need, or there's some kind of resistance to giving you what you need here. It feels like there's something, kind of the same message. You're gonna have to stand your ground, or you're gonna have to push past some kind of obstacle that's being presented from them. The Fool. It feels like there's a solution to get it, but it feels like it's not going to come easy, and it's not just going to be like handed to you. I'm gonna do 2 more here and then go back to the other list. Message from Ophania, my guardian angel. 10 of Cups. Past life activation. 10 of Cups, past life activation, the Empress. It feels like things are coming to the surface that are confirming suspicions that you had or thoughts that you had or patterns that you're seeing within yourself. It's like you're awakening to a consciousness of a past lifetime to get you through something you're going through in this lifetime right now. The wisdom from past lifetimes, the calmness from like accumulated wisdom type thing. It feels like that's going to be coming in very heavily for you or very strongly for you. Like the knowledge of the wisdom from past lives so you can utilize it right now. Was my phone playing a TikTok in the middle of the night? A message, and from who? Middle of the night. Strategy, the Fool. I almost feel like with this 9 of Swords, because the person's not in the bed like normal, I almost feel like you may have woken up like right before this, and almost like you being awake triggered it to get the message across. I would say yes. Wheel of Fortune, angels, ancestors, guides, something that you needed to hear or something that was confirming something, or maybe you needed to be awoken from a dream. I would say your guides though, not someone you knew. It's my birthday tomorrow. Happy birthday. Message from Mom. Queen of Wands. She's showing up tomorrow with some kind of message or communication. It's almost like I want to let you know now that when you receive it tomorrow, like I told you it was coming type of thing. There's like this feeling of, I almost want to say if you sit down and do some channeled writing tomorrow, you may kind of, if you start writing to her, she may answer in some way, or maybe you will channel what she wants to say. But there's this energy of like her showing up for you tomorrow, but wanting you to know ahead of time that that's going to be the case. When you speak to me out louder in your thoughts, I hear you. And thank you for all you have done for me. Yeah, showing up with some kind of communication. Well, let me get it. I Can See Clearly Now by Johnny Nash is the song. Let me go back to this list. Message from my mom. This one. What will happen with my relationship with my mom? It's kind of giving a need to protect your peace and go on some kind of almost like a feeling of, okay, I'm going to give you time to unpack whatever it is you need to unpack while I protect my peace, and then we'll see if our paths can meet back up, because you keep bringing me into this battle here. King of Wands, and I need to take the right action for me. It feels like a redistribution of energy is kind of how I'd word that. Or like a pulling back of energy. When will my daughter Kay move out? I feel like it's going to seem like it's distant in the future, and then it happens suddenly all at once. Timing, I feel like it's quicker than you think. Whatever your like estimate is, it feels like it's going to happen a little bit before that. And it may seem like it came out of nowhere type of thing. Something about getting money in order. There's some kind of change in a money situation that's gonna put her in a position to where it is able to happen more quickly. Do you see me getting my own vehicle within the year? Oh no, hold on. Within the year, I would say no. I do feel like you're heading in that direction, but maybe a little bit more slow than a year. I would say between January and May of next year feels likely or significant. Yeah, I switched sides because the cards are actually over here, and I feel like it's easier for me to like know where I'm looking at the screen. Are we going to have a break at Christmas? We're going to have a break. I feel like you're going to be disappointed. Like whatever kind of break you mean, either it's not as rejuvenating or it doesn't happen, or maybe there's like a little break and then something else happens after, or there's like more energy needed for something else after. I feel like you're going to be disappointed here. Should I incorporate ancient history connections to my gemstone jewelry to get more social media traction? Also trained ancient historian. I don't know why I never thought of this before. Building in another factor to put into the foundation, taking a step forward. Queen of to use your mind to draw in the right crowd. So if she's holding up the butterfly, I would say, yeah, that's a good idea. Let me change this playlist back 1 second. Okay. Who was the shadow in my car lately? L. No, not L. This seems okay, so not an entirely personal connection, a step back from a personal connection. It feels like a guide, but if L is a guide, then L is not the guide because King of Pentacles is reversed. It feels like some kind of warning, not like trying to scare you warning, more like pay attention to blank type of thing, or like maybe it's like symbolic of whatever you're passing or whatever you're doing at the time when you're seeing it. There's like some kind of like focusing on what needs to be paid attention to that's supposed to come with it. Will my daughter-in-law receive her package soon? My daughter-in-law receive... I would say it's coming, but it doesn't feel like soon. Seven of Pentacles is all about like patience and waiting, but the Nine of Cups is a wish fulfillment. So it's going to be longer than liked, but it's coming. Let me go to this list over here. Should I reach out to JC as friends or more? Huh. I feel like friends, at least at first. The Hierophant's here, so it could slowly move towards commitment, but I tend to believe that that should kind of come from him or them. Almost like start as friends and you will know if it's right to offer some kind of commitment or open the door to some kind of commitment. And if you're both on the same page, it will go forward. So it doesn't necessarily have to be from them, but steps at a time. It feels like friends first is important. Direct message from L. Haley's Song by Eminem. Sometimes I feel like the world's on my shoulders. Oh, that's how you feel. There's a need to take practical steps to start to put down the world that feels like it's on your shoulders. So almost like take inventory of what's on them in the first place and then figure out solutions to start relieving yourself from the stress. It almost feels like cobwebs, like needing to clear out the energy and get some kind of fresh focus in, but needing to first put down the world that feels like it's on your shoulders. Did I really talk with my mom the other night? It felt so real. Any messages from my spirit guide? Connection that you've been waiting for. Angel, it's protected. Knight of Pentacles, you can trust what you felt and what you understood. I would say yes. Messages from your spirit guides. The conversation was supposed to kind of get rid of some kind of internal dialogue that wasn't serving you. It feels like either an abandonment wound or this feeling of like loneliness or something like that. Like the conversation was meant to show you that there's a need to reframe part of your internal dialogue that's really holding you in this like energy of like lack or energy of fear. So there's a need to address that. It's almost like that's why she stepped in with the conversation to get you to say you're worthy of inner peace. Oh, and like beep for confirmation because I forgot to turn that on silent. One sec. Let me get a song. Flying Without Wings by Ruben Studdard is the song. What is happening in my dreams? They have been crazy lately. Yeah. Okay. So before I pulled the devil, I said God is showing you what you needed to see so you can put an end or some kind of chapter, and then the devil came out. It's almost like you're filling in the blanks of this puzzle that you experienced something but didn't all the way understand it, and there's a need for self-forgiveness. So you're kind of getting to see symbolic pieces of this puzzle so that you can understand it, forgive yourself, and close a cycle. Almost like if you're seeing a situation from another person's perspective in some way, or you're seeing how they perceived you or something like that, so that you can step into foster self-forgiveness is kind of what I'm hearing. Message for the full moon. What's that? The 17th? What's today? The 16th. Message for the full moon tomorrow. Don't fight yourself with rest. Let yourself rest. Let yourself release. It's like you can battle yourself or you can go with what your body and mind is telling you. And this kind of makes me think of like, what's that? Quelling? Is quelling a word? Quelling the storm or calming the storm or something like that. Like you can feed some kind of fear or sadness or grief, or you can release it and let yourself rest and release. Feels like that's very important. All right, let me go over here. Where is my love? Do I already know him? No, I don't feel like you already know him. I feel like this person is in the middle of getting something back into a better state for themselves that was not working. It's like this person hit some kind of dead end and now they're rebuilding. Yeah, and it feels to be the same energy that you are in now or you just were in. This feeling of rebuilding from the ground up type of thing, so that you can both be prepared for the 10 of Pentacles, lasting stability. I would say 2 to 5 years, 2 to under 5 years feels significant. So maybe like 2 to 4 years. Who doesn't belong in my external family? J, male, RJ, female. J, male. RJ, female. I feel like they're both meant to teach you very significant lessons. I don't know if I would say doesn't belong. I would say needing to understand that just because someone is family does not mean that you're always going to have the same purpose for one another in each other's lives. And it does feel like you're a catalyst for something for them, and they're meant to teach you something about either pain or forgiveness or release or self-limiting beliefs. Almost like you're meant to show them potential and they're meant to show you what happens if you don't strive for that potential, or something about like not seeing their own potential. So it feels like there's an important lesson, which is why you're in the same place or family group. Will a nationwide power outage and or 3 days of darkness occur between now and November 15th? Is this for the higher good of the collective? Will a nationwide power outage happen between now and November 15th? It feels like there's sections that lose power, but then it's solved or it's fixed. It's restored. Nine of Swords. I would say there's certain places that are struggling or going to struggle with something power related, but then there's a solution. 3 days of darkness between now and November 15th. Ghostly white worms appear to be reproducing is the news article that just popped up. Ghostly white, something glowing. 3 days of darkness. I want to almost word this as it's going to appear in a different way than imagined, like a symbolic version of it, if that makes sense, is kind of what I'm getting. What's my current energy? Learning how to trust yourself again, or learning how to trust your discernment again, and figuring out a practical solution to get into the energy that you want to be in, away from the energy that you just were in. Oh, thank you. You are so welcome. Let's pull one of these. As you release things not meant for you, you'll be brought new ones that better align with your magic. No need to cut anyone off, just grow and they'll fall off all on their own. Being guided right now to do what's best for you, regardless of what anyone else thinks about that. What do I need to add to my manifesting routine so that my desires come to fruition? It feels like your patience is what is kind of being tested right now. How will you continue to take practical action forward, even if you don't necessarily see the results coming in yet? Yeah, Six of Swords kind of feels like slow and steady wins the race here. um you're meant to continue taking action as if you already have this manifestation, and you're meant to kind of keep the faith here and continue to say, okay, what can I do between now and then that will continue to prepare me for this to come in? What's with the lying and jealousy at my group? um People wanting to be perceived how they view others being perceived. So you have something that maybe I don't necessarily want or care about, but I want others to see me the way they see you because of that type of thing. And also kind of this feeling of like gossip is the foundation of certain friendships there. So like if we don't talk about other people, we don't really know what else to talk about, kind of thing. Am I moving back to the NE/home or buy a house? Well, that would be the environment of the home. There's a need for patience here. It feels like yes, moving back to the Northeast/home. But it feels like it's going to be a minute, or it's going to be a slower process than thought. It does feel like it's going to be the right decision though. And I do think there's likely to buy a house, but again, it feels like that is part of that, what's going to take longer than expected. I'm going to do two more and then go back to the other list. Anna left country to move Luis Diaz Sr. tomb. Is she doing more voodoo on him? He is trapped in a house. To move his tomb. Oh, that's literally someone moving. Basically, someone who's in an open casket. Four of Pentacles. Two of Pentacles reversed, so that you can't rebalance. Four of Pentacles, the foundation, the Magician magic. I would say yes. I would say yes. What should we do with our horse? Is she lonely? Oh, there's a horse. A final decision based off of just what would be best for her in the day to day. It does feel like she does want love or wants more attention. Almost like if you were her, what would you hope happens, and then figure out a way to kind of make that happen. Broken by Seether and Amy Lee just started playing too. That feels to go with the horse message. Any guidance on my personal life? There's a need to stay grounded through some kind of competitive energy, knowing that if there's something calling to you, that it's because you have a way to stand out within that. This could be career related. There's something that you're waiting for here, and the answer is within. The answer is, what do you feel most called towards or most passionate towards? There's a need to almost like shift the focus to something externally that you can build or start to grow. And that will help you with the war that's been happening in your mind. Direction from my guides on finding peace and away from empathy, and away from feeling empty, lone, self-sabotage, and filling it with more debt, isolation. Lease on Life by Andy Grammer is the song. There's a need to reprogram your desire to escape instead of face certain wounds as they come up. This is your shadow wound kind of keeping you stuck in place and getting ready to chop you with the sword there. This five of swords is the battle that you're in. It does feel like there's either an abandonment wound, a mother wound, some kind of lack of nurture wound. Because of someone else's abandonment, your response is to abandon yourself. So there's a need to show up for yourself in a different way right now. The only way out is through. Should I reach out to my friend ASB? Am I wrong in believing the friendship was one-sided when we stopped talking? I would say you're being encouraged to reach out. But I don't necessarily know that that means that things are going to go differently or go well so much as to give you closure or show you that you made the right decision. I do feel like things were very one-sided and you were reading it correctly. So I don't think there's harm in reaching out as long as you know that you may be disappointed or it may not be anything different than before. Should I work with Deborah's team to heal myself? Should I work with Deborah's team? It's one way to take you from Nine of Swords into a rebalanced state, from fear, from pain, from stress into a lower vibrational state. Could you fill in other blanks here? Yes. But if that's the one that you feel called to go with, I do think it's a good option that will get you there. I tend to also believe there's something else also needed in combination with that. That seems to be more of like a personal thing. So whether that's like nutrition, whether that's mindset, whether that's talking through something. It seems like that and something else. General message from guides on finances. You are going through it, huh? I feel like I want to say you're in the worst of it right now. It feels to be a money wound. So self-worth, self-concept, being confident in your abilities, knowing that there's a place for you. You have some kind of solution that you're not viewing as a solution that feels to be like either turning a hobby into something that could make money or doing something on the side that could help to shift things. Yeah, the Hanged Man and Nine of Pentacles. You're very, or Six of Pentacles. You're very stuck here right now, but if you start to put in some kind of new energy into something, you'll get a solution. You'll get a relief. You'll get forward progress. It is this one. Old Style Tarot on Amazon. I love this deck. What did I do in a past life? What did I do in a past life? Servant and adventurer. And the law. It's kind of giving like working for a wealthy family or like being some kind of, I almost want to say like nanny or like caretaker of someone. Eight of Swords, but you were stuck there. Almost like you traveling with another family that you couldn't get away from because they were your, either you needed their money or for some reason there was like legal reasons that you were stuck with in this situation. It kind of feels like how that would show up in this lifetime is like this longing for experiences that others get to have that you feel like are far away from you, and hence maybe keeping yourself from the opportunities at those experiences. Happy birthday. My husband has never been thoughtful regarding holidays and special occasions. Can his higher self tell us why, or has he some sort of shadow wound? 7 of Cups. Well, that would be his higher self pouring it into the third eye. I almost want to say it's the pattern that you see. Like you see a certain pattern. The Empress. Chariot. Two things working together. One of them being some kind of either abandonment, mother wound, nurture wound. It's like I don't want that particular wound triggered, and it has something to do with the mother figure. Gossip and slander. Okay, that took a turn. I wanna word this as I don't like being perceived as the giver because it triggers a wound of me not being given to in certain ways when I was younger. If that makes sense. Insight about the black hole that seems significant from past reading. It's like you're waiting for something to go wrong. You're waiting to be sucked up into this black hole that you feel like is inevitable, but you're being protected from it. You're being risen up above it. Almost like you feel like you're heading towards some kind of worst case scenario and you're actually not. It's just that you're being your spirit team wants it to look like you're about to hit some kind of wall so that you learn from something that maybe you were avoiding learning previously. So you're being risen up above it. See how like even that is kind of risen above this tower. There's a need to trust your discernment right now is what I'd say with that. Should I continue investing in my house or save my money? Continue investing. I would say save your money. Walking away unfulfilled, something not maturing. So basically, like you're not going to feel like you're going to get out of it what you're hoping to get out of it by continuing to do that. And then this would be you in the King of Pentacles energy when it comes to saving your money. So I would say saving your money is better. Is my daughter's weekend going well? I'm hopeful for something, or I was hopeful for something, and then I ended up disappointed, or I ended up hearing lackluster, like something wasn't as good as I was hoping type of thing, but nothing really bad either. Any messages from my guides? Who might my guides be? It feels like at least one of your guides, or at least the one that's stepping through, is someone that you knew that has passed. It's almost like I feel like I let you down at some point before, and I'm coming back to help figure out how to make things right or to make it up to you type of thing. The moon, something unseen, Ace of Swords. I'm finding ways to communicate to you in ways that don't all the way make sense yet, but will make sense soon to reveal exactly who I am. It feels like someone who you knew who has passed. And you don't necessarily even have to have been that close with this person, although it kind of feels like you were. Helping to make things right is how I'd word that. Does my dad have a message about my son and a song? Huh? House of the Rising Sun is the song. The Animals. Now, the only thing a gambler needs is a suitcase and a trunk, and the only time he's satisfied is when he's on a trump. When he's on a trump. There's one final battle or one final test or one final hurdle, whatever it is, that he's still, as in your son, is not seeing yet. It feels like whatever this is, it's a culmination of other lessons or experiences that's meant to show your son you can push forward, or you can make it through this, or you can figure out a solution, you can figure out an answer, whatever it is that he's seeking. If I had to quote your dad to your son, the sun will rise again after the darkest nights. Do my parents have any messages for me, and do I have a spirit guide? Tiny Dancer by Elton John. There's a need to find enjoyment in something again, almost like there's this energetic depletion that can only be reignited through joy or through fun or through something. It's like let yourself rebuild from this tower that you had. You're meant to change strategies and face away from some kind of fear. It's like the path of healing, I almost want to say, has commenced, right? There's a need to not focus on healing, but focus on joy, focus on fun. You've completed some kind of cycle here, and now you're kind of shifting gears, you're shifting energies. But the way to figure out which way is best to go forward is following the things that bring fun back in, bring joy back in. I almost want to like, who says that? The Joker? It's like not so serious. That type energy feels to be the message. Do you have a spirit guide? I would say the spirit guides that are most invested in you would be your parents. Not that you don't have others, but it feels like, look, the bird and the butterfly both there together. It feels like they are very close to you right now in terms of something that's going on. Message and a song. What if by 5 for fighting? If you don't get it, then you don't get it. You made your mind up before you knew me. You're learning to trust yourself again from people who came around who you might not have seen their true intentions from the start. You're learning that that was not a reflection of your worth. And whatever that experience taught you, you are coming into the energy of transmuting it. So you're making something out of your pain, whether that be a mindset shift, whether that be some kind of project, whether that be some kind of relationship, whatever it is, whatever's unfolding for you now is the transmutation of previous either rejection or like attacks on your self-worth. So fully invest yourself into what starts opening up for you. That way you can transmute all of that energy that wasn't yours. Any messages from why? Does she know how she passed? Any messages from why? Does she know how she passed? I would say yes, she knows how she passed. A situation forced beyond control, a disaster, demolition, tragic, a funeral, a ghost, high pressure, failure, broken heart, accident, pain, trap, high anxiety, major operation. I almost want to say like whatever this was close to being an issue before, but there was a solution. And then this time there wasn't. And the message is that it had to be that way. Yeah, a second chance. What has been before will be again. A troubled heart, unsettled emotions, cycles of life, or a repeat occurrence. Things that come in twos. There was some kind of preparation for this, right? But it meant it needed to happen in this way. I'm going to do one more and then go back to the other list. And I'm also going to close super chats. 1 second. Let me change that. Okay. What is the reason I haven't been able to get pregnant all these years? Is it something spiritual or like a curse or medical? I would say a spiritual wound that has manifested into a physical obstacle. A spiritual wound, trust deficiency, existential despair. Feels like needing to trust your spiritual side after having some kind of trauma during an awakening phase. Almost like a computer that needs a reboot. So I don't know if that means like a need for something like IVF, if that's a potential for you, or like needing to clear and detox something. It's like I'm getting the image of a computer needing a reboot after some kind of trauma. So it feels like something spiritual, emotional that manifested as a physical obstacle, but it does feel like there is a way to move forward and get a solution here with the Wheel of Fortune. But it's needing to heal the spiritual, emotional so that a solution in the physical can be presented because it mirrors one another. Okay, where? Um, 1 second. This thing scrolled me all the way back to the top. Hold on 1 second. Okay. Any advice from my dad on how to go forward with the secret I uncovered? It feels like there's one person in particular that is your first step forward here. Revealing this to that person or getting that person, no, not getting their advice, revealing it to someone. And almost like two heads are better than one. At that point, you figure out what the best path forward is. The Emperor on the bottom of the deck here, which would be him, your dad. A helping hand, a deal, a clock, time, help to overcome obstacles and learn independence, business partner, a favor, a gift, doubling of something. Yeah, you're meant to talk to someone. There's someone else that needs in on this, and then two heads are better than one. Is Riley about finished with G and ready to move on? I would say still hanging on a hope. I'm starting to see the signs, but I'm still hanging on a hope. I kind of read this as Riley's gaslighting herself a little bit into not believing what she's seeing, even though she's seeing things. When is my husband going to find a job? He's been unemployed for 4 months now. Oh. I don't know if this is a need to like do a resume like upgrade or like something needs maturing here, not him, but like something in the planning. So it could be the type of jobs, it could be the follow-up, it could be the resume, it could be needing to talk to other people who can get him to get his foot in the door somewhere. It does feel like it's coming. I kind of take this 6 of Wands literally, like within the next 6 months, and the speed of that is going to be figuring out which of those factors needs an upgrade, so to speak. Should I learn how to read the cards? If so, how do I pick the right deck for me? I feel like that's something that would be helpful. It would help you kind of be able to put pieces into place of how to move forward. It would help you build a foundation to connect with yourself and get you out of some previous either questioning yourself or self-sabotage patterns, whatever it is that needs to be put a close to. I would say any learner's deck, the ones with the words on them at first, is helpful. And then the Light Seers deck is good. This one, the old style tarot, is good. Will I be able to not work in education one day, either as a self-sufficient business owner or a future stay-at-home mom? I feel like the stay-at-home mom is a stronger possibility. I feel like with self-sufficient business owner, I feel like right now, if you were to do that, you'd need to like subsidize, add in some other income to make up for whatever you're making now versus what that would bring in. It feels like there's a need to I just want to say, like, think outside of the box and figure out what right now about your business plan is not working and stop pouring energy into that part and kind of reframe the other areas to push them out more. Not that it's not possible, but it feels like right now the stay-at-home mom one is kind of more likely. When will I find a job? I would say between January and August feels significant of 2025. It does feel like one's coming. It may be that you turn down something or you get your hopes up about something and then it doesn't work out, and then the next one's right around the corner. Feels like it's going to be a little bit though. Let me do this list. The world seems so heavy, seems spiritual attacks are amping up. Any messages and token? Teeth in a jar with the number 12. It feels like there's an attempt to silence anyone who's speaking truth or leading to some kind of change, like taking your teeth out. When you take your teeth out, you're not going to want to be talking. 9 of Wands, Queen of Swords, communication, trying to lock people behind some kind of wall so they can't communicate. It feels like the world's throat chakra the world's throat chakra is being attacked because if we're not communicating with one another, or we're not communicating effectively or from a place of love with one another, then we can't grow and move forward. So it does feel like there's an attempt to silence any hope or peace so that the focus can be on chaos. Let me pull some of these. Yeah, this one was like stuck on the desk. I couldn't pick it up, and it's the healing card. The healing card was like not letting me pick it up. 11th house community. Yeah, it's like there's an attack on the world's throat chakra so that in times of chaos we can't join together, which shows you the power in what happens when we do. Message from A, please. I haven't been sleeping. Message from A. You're the one who needs to come up with the solution here for the way that some kind of external situation that involves other people is not serving you. Almost like you're the voice of reason in this scenario, and you can't expect the other people involved in this to be the voice of reason. You need to be the voice of reason. Hold on. Turn Back Time by Henderson is the song. Will my sister M and I mend our relationship? Does she know or care that they all ran from me when I was disabled? If I'm M, I'm committed to misunderstanding the situation because it serves me better to misunderstand it than to realize what it means to understand it. So this could show up as like I'm pretending not to see that they did that type of thing. It feels like it's going to be a bit before there's any potential to mend here. I would say 2005, 2006, 2007, 2008. I would say in between 2025 and 2028, M is going to be undergoing some either awakening or healing that may lead to mending the relationship, but not until that mending and healing is like commenced. Kay was my staff of 5 years and I thought friend, but she was moved to others 4 months ago and didn't seem bothered and barely messages. Was I just a job to her? Kind of giving a you need me more than I need you. I'm just focused on wherever I'm at and not really too much outside of that. So when I'm here, I'm able to focus on you, but out of sight, out of mind type of thing seems to be the energy. I'm not willing to focus on you at my expense, or I'm not willing to focus on you unless it's convenient for me. New member, thank you. The higher you vibe, the more you shape your environment. The lower you vibe, the more your environment shapes you. It feels like there's a need for clearing out of internal and external stressors from the last chapter. That could be rearranging, that could be changing something in your routine, that could be learning something new, that could be even something like changing something that you've wanted to change with your appearance. It's like there's a need for fresh energy right now. Did K or L do something to my dad? I'm finding a way to play on your emotions or blind you with emotions or use emotions against you in order to get something for myself out of it. And then I need to hide that. What does that mean? I need to hide that. Nine of Pentacles. It feels like it has something to do with money. Draining you of something. Or trying to hide an attempt to drain you of something. Do one more and then go back to the other list. Will I be able to not work in education? Oh, I did this one. New member. Thank you. Your brain is a supercomputer and the self-talk is the programming it will run. Be mindful of how you speak to yourself. Feels like there's a cycle of thought from the past that's in focus because it's allowing you to choose to not engage with the thoughts that pull you into a negative spiral, focusing on solutions instead of stressors. Okay, let me go back to this one. One second. Has my son Luke made the right choice with his pre-university course? Okay, so I feel like he feels like a fish out of water right now, but if he gives it time, he's going to either recognize what would be better or start to feel like, okay, this fits. It does feel transitionary though, like I'm going to use this but not in the way that's necessarily expected. Yeah, the sun and Two of Cups, it connects me to what comes next. I would say yes, and there's a need for patience right now, like patience with adjusting. Am I a Heyoka empath, and how do I develop my gift? I would say it's coming up as yes here. It's coming up with a connection there. That and like there's something else that's significant when it comes to that. Like understanding that, but also understanding that something else is involved with that is important. Reconnecting with your inner child, rebalancing out whatever wounds your inner child faced, and reconnecting in that way connects you to that path. Is my father still alive? Solid. Okay. So what I was getting here was it's possible, but if he is, there's something going on that there may not be a lot of time left on. There's something going wrong. Or he recently passed. I feel more likely that there's not a lot of time left, is what I'd say. Do I have blocked chakras? I would say the one that you're working on reigniting right now seems to be your solar plexus. But it feels like this is something that was severely blocked that you're working on. It feels like that's likely associated with like a grounding deficit or like a root chakra blockage. But as you heal the solar plexus, you shine light on what needs to happen with your root chakra. So it feels like the two of them are really connected here. But it feels like your crown chakra is open. So it's giving you directions and solutions to how to work through that. Do I have a gift, a message, song? Airplanes by B.O.B. I could really use a wish right now, wish right now, wish right now. Oh. God is getting ready to answer some kind of prayer for you. In a way that's going to, it's kind of giving like, but God, like this shouldn't have happened. This shouldn't have worked out. This shouldn't have redirected and gone in a positive way, but higher power stepped in. What feels broken right now is being replaced or redirected. One second. What is my spirit team trying to tell me that I'm missing? As soon as I started pulling cards, my left contact completely fogged up. There's something you're not seeing around you, almost like the devil's attacking you through another person and trying to prevent you from making some kind of change that you know you need to make. You're protected here with the King of Cups coming up because you have the solid foundation. But something is keeping you stagnant, and it's not your energy, it's an incoming energy. You're meant to be kind of looking at the signs of what is depleting you, what is draining you, what is keeping you stuck in your head, or who, and make the decisions that show that you're ready to fully choose yourself. Saint Germain spoke to me last night. He mentioned empath, healer, and direct contact with the divine source. Please help me understand. There's something that you were trying to call in that didn't feel like you thought it would feel when it came in, and it's appearing in a different form. It feels like this has something to do with the opportunity to use your light in a situation where you don't necessarily feel like prepared, or what is that word? Why can't I think of that word? When you're qualified. You don't feel qualified to do this, but you're getting the opportunity to do it so you can start to see how to use that in different ways. Life path, because it's part of your life path. There's like a rebirth happening here. There's a rebirth as you see yourself in action. It's like you see yourself in a different light and you're like, oh, that's what all of these signs have been pointing towards. Lego House by Ed Sheeran is playing. Go back to this list. I'm going to finish these. The last one is New Girl with the Arizona comment. That's the last one on this list. What does my daughter need from me? Direction on how to alleviate some kind of blockage or face some kind of wound. It's like, I don't want to talk it out with you per se, but I want you to tell me different ways that I can either move forward or not avoid what I'm avoiding emotionally. I don't want to have a back and forth, but I want direction or I want solutions. Or like, what did you do in similar situations? But it feels like in an indirect way. Like, I don't want to have a direct conversation. I just want directions, if that makes sense. Does TS miss me? What has she said about me? Feels like more, I'm trying to not think about you. I'm trying to focus on myself. Oh, the Hermit. Okay. Yes, I'm trying to. What has she said about me? Something's holding you back from being ready. Or it could be that something's holding her back from being ready, but it feels more like something's holding you back from being ready, or something is preventing something from going like from point A to point B. Communication or lack thereof. We can't see eye to eye about something fundamental seems to be the message, or like something's holding me back from seeing it your way type of thing. Would I move in NE in summer 2025 or 2026? Would I move to NE 2025 or 2026? I feel like it's more likely 2026. It's like I'm waiting for this. I'm waiting for this to finally all dump out. Like I'm waiting for everything that needs to get out of the way to get out of the way so I can flow. This is more like I'm putting all the pieces together in 2025. So 2025 putting the pieces together, 2026 stepping into what you've been waiting for. I did that one. Oh, thank you. I think I did it. Did I do that one? 1 second. Let me see if you put more than one. The gift one. Okay, I did that one. Let's see what else you need to know. What else do you need to know? Didn't the tower come out for your other one? Crap, now I can't remember. The Tower, Two of Pentacles, the Moon. It did, because didn't I say restoring the balance or God's about to do something? Okay, so the Tower, Two of Pentacles, the Moon. Whatever it is that feels very out of balance right now and like there's no solution, that's where, you know, your spirit team is stepping in to come up with some kind of solution. It feels like this is going to come out of nowhere for you. Like, it almost may seem like you're about to hit some kind of brick wall, and then last second your spirit team like pushes you out of the way of it, and it actually makes everything, the Empress makes everything go in your favor, where it may have looked like that wasn't the case. The Star, you're being divinely led right now. See how both of these are pouring out instead of one pouring in and the other pouring out? You've already done the work for some kind of solution. Now you just need to be in receiving mode to get the solution. Oh, I did that one. So I said you're connecting with your inner child. What's the focus? Guilt and shame will help you awaken to this. Focusing on who projected their own shame onto you and made your inner child feel like it needed to hide. That's how you awaken more to your role in regards to being the Hyoka empath. Arizona, New Mexico, Colorado, or Utah? Arizona, New Mexico, Colorado, Utah. I'm between Colorado and Utah. Colorado, Utah. Colorado, Utah. I feel like Colorado or Utah could go either way. I'm feeling like things make more sense in Colorado. Like you'll be like, okay, X, Y, and Z prepared me for this, or prepared me to appreciate this. Whereas Utah, it feels more like my environment is what I need it to be. So maybe more accomplishment in Colorado, more peace in Utah is maybe how I'd word that. Would asking M to work with me on manifesting assist me into more abundance? It would help you address a shadow wound, and the wound would be what assists you into more abundance. So it's not necessarily M, it's you that's making the shift, but either M gives you an example of how to do things differently, and then it allows you to address the shadow wound. Maybe M makes you feel supported, and that allows you to address the shadow wound. It's the relief from the shadow wound that aligns you with abundance, and it feels like that's a money wound. Self-worth, self-concept, belief in yourself. Maybe this person mirrors back to you your potential, and then that helps you address the shadow wound. So yes, but it's not M, it's you that's making the change. Is there justification on how I'm perceiving the energy in my home? You don't know everything yet, but you know enough to make some kind of change. And if you start to make the proper change based off of what you do know, then you're showing you're trusting your intuition, and then more of what you don't know can be revealed to you. So yes, you're going in the right direction, but you need to take steps showing you trust your intuition so you can be given the information that you don't have yet. Will B and I be ending things soon? Will B and I You're going to have a very difficult conversation coming up here. What comes of that? It's almost like you have a conversation and you're both like, okay, we're not on the same page, or this isn't going well, or something like that. And then there's a temporary solution, or like okay, let's just try a little longer. Let's try a little harder. Let's try to change this. But it feels like whatever you need them to change, they don't change. Yeah, Eight of Swords. They're stuck. It feels like not ending things yet. It feels like there's a tough conversation trying to make things better, and then that not working. So almost like you're being forced into a situation where like you're going to have to either accept less than what you deserve, or your spirit team is showing you the other person's lack of desire to change, even though they know they need to change for you, or like not change, but like step outside of their comfort zone or something like that. Be more emotionally available, maybe. Oh, see, yeah, that dream of an entire generation standing on a hill with an X over our mouths. Yeah, that would be the throat chakra attack. That would make sense. That is true. You're definitely stronger together. What's done in the dark will always come to light. So true. Yeah, the Light Seers is a very good learning deck as well. This I feel like this one's pretty good too. This old one, the old style tarot. I feel like it's pretty true to like the scenes, I guess I'd say. I asked last week about my best friend's health. You said to look into paternal, and she was operating on battery save. Okay, she is adopted. I found out her mother had leukemia. Could this be her problem? Oh, okay. Hierophant. Hierophant's higher knowledge. Not that that might that's a potential to be a problem. I'm not saying it's not, but I don't think that's what I was seeing. I still feel like it's on the paternal side. I'm almost getting this energy of like she's protected from that being a problem, at least right now. Um, I feel like it's still the father's side, the paternal side. I know if you do certain like 23andMe type test things, some of them will give you like the medical, like likelihood of different medical things. I don't know how else to find out the paternal side that I'm seeing. Broken Arrows by Avicii is the song. Broken Arrows. So you have one side of the arrow, you need the other side of the arrow. Still feel like it's paternal. Trying to see if anybody I didn't get yet. Message from my spirit team and a song. A Little Too Much by Shawn Mendes is the song. Sometimes it all gets a little too much. It feels like it's guiding you to some kind of rest, like mental rest. I want to say there's a need for you to sit down and write right now, like write. Allow yourself to dump out what you've been holding on to so you can make space for something to come to the surface. It feels almost like okay, so imagine you have a balloon, right? And the balloon has like a little thing on the bottom of it that's holding this note. And you need to allow the balloon to come up and go past and start to fly away so you can grab the note that you otherwise wouldn't have seen was on there. It feels like there's a solution that's going to be presented to you on the other side of addressing a shadow wound that's coming to the surface. The star, yeah, like, and then it's a way to let some kind of problem go or come up with a solution for a persistent issue that keeps coming up. Message from Uncle Dell. Love is always the best response, even if it's not what you're getting from the other person. It feels like there's someone that needs your forgiveness, even though they might not deserve it. Um, Almost like someone that you've had to pull your energy back away from. There's almost this need to rethink about the situation. This feels like family, or it could be a friendship that was like kind of fell apart here. 5 of Swords and the Moon. It's like you couldn't really see what the other person's intentions were, or you couldn't see how to get on the same page. But it feels like something has happened that would allow this situation to unfold differently now, is the message. Let me get a song. The Scientist by Coldplay. come up to meet you, tell you I'm sorry, you don't know how lovely you are. It doesn't feel like you owe an apology, but it doesn't feel like you're going to get one from them either. Just feels like closure or forgiveness. I'm going to stay on about 10 more minutes. I think I'm going to do another little bit later in the week too, but we shall see. Because I still owe 15 minutes from last week. So if I get off at 45, that's a half hour. So I'll come on for an hour again later in the week. I don't know where I am. Here we go. Am I going to get my Vavavoom back soon? I feel like you're on the way to getting it back, but it feels like it kind of looks like chakras being in alignment right now. It feels like you're getting yourself back in alignment so that you can kind of face something here so you can get it back, right? So it does feel like it's coming. 9 of Pentacles. It feels like your sacral chakra, your self-identity, it's like that's what the focus is right now. And as you work through that, you'll start to get those feelings back. But it feels like something is causing you to see yourself as limited in some way, and that's where the focus is needed. Token and a song. It's a mouth saying no with number 66 on it. Reminds me of a reading I did the other day where I said no is a full sentence. Ace of Pentacles. Here, I'm giving you one thing. It's a no. It feels like, 7 of Wands, to defend my mental justice because it's the right thing to do. You don't owe anyone an explanation more than what you want to give them. Make a decision that's best for you, regardless of what other people think about it. And remember that no is a full sentence. You don't owe them more than that. Did you really have a balloon tattoo 3 days ago? Well, there you go. The message was waiting for you. That's so funny. Yes, me feeling crazy and off lately, so I need to be open to receive the gift or a message. Yeah, Queen of Cups, need to be in the energy of receiving magic from your higher power. Almost like you're going to start you're going to start having opportunities to choose to allow yourself to be in receiving mode, whether that be, maybe you see someone holding the door for you up ahead and normally you'd be like, oh, don't bother, just go, go, go. But like you recognize, okay, this is an opportunity to show that I'm being willing to be in receiving mode. So maybe you hustle a little quicker to the door instead of just telling them to go ahead. You're going to get opportunities to do that to prepare you to receive what's coming in for you. 9 to 5 by Dolly Parton is the song. It's like your spirit team is hard at work right now because it's very difficult to get you in receiving mode because you're used to giving. That's why they're doing it in little steps like that. Is my mother's cancer back? It feels like you're going to be getting answers soon, but the answers are that it's not that, but it does feel like there's some kind of issue. Reproductive organs, that could be hormones. An intimate connection. It feels like something hormone related, or something like hormones that's throwing off other things, that there needs to be some kind of preventative care to get it back in like functioning order type of thing. But I'm not getting a sign that it's that. The answer to your last question. I do not see. You'll have to ask it again. Let's see. Do spirits not want me to know the answer to my last question? 2 of Wands. 10 of Wands. I do feel like there's some bit of needing to trust your intuition here, but that's not to say you can't ask the question again. But it does feel like you're also being guided to trust your intuition in some way. Almost like you have an overwhelming direction that you've been given, if that makes sense. But you can ask it again. Hopefully I'll see it. Any messages for me? The solution that you need for some kind of 3D battle is coming through the 5D. So there's a need to trust your intuition. There's a need to follow the spiritual direction or recognize the patterns that are helping you make a decision. If you trust your intuition, the right decision will be made to get you out of some kind of persistent battle. Am I making the right decision backing out of move this weekend? Yes. Victory, you, independence. You're doing the right thing for yourself. Any message from my guides? The solution or the help is not coming from outside of you. There's a need to stop waiting for something externally to change and take charge of the situation to get what you need to happen. Almost like slow and steady action, but starting to take action so that you show that you're not waiting for something to change. You're in charge of changing what you need. Kind of word it as the time for waiting around is over. Now it's time to take action. Ground it, practical action. When you said I had abandonment issues, was that for me from my parents or an inheritance from my father who was deserted by his father? It feels like the second one, but like also it affected you or showed up in some ways through him because of that. So it does feel like passed on pain here. Like here's the pain and I'm passing it on. But again, here it's like certain things I didn't have from him because of that affected me. So I'd say the root or initial wound seems to be an inheritance from your father who was deserted by his father, but that also showed up for you through him in some ways, if that makes sense. Song from my mom and dad. One second. None of these are the song. Oh, I'm in the wrong playlist. That's why. I kept hearing wrong over and over. And I'm like, okay, not this one, not this one. I wasn't in the right playlist. Don't Stop Believin' by Journey is the song. Don't Stop Believin'. It feels like there's some frustration that you're experiencing right now, but there's something being protected in terms of your state of mind. So almost like if you're waiting for an answer for something, or you're waiting for a solution, or you're waiting for a next step, or you're waiting for like a thumbs up, almost like you're being protected from feeling like that's going to slip away, if I am wording that correctly. Like, there's some need for patience because you're being protected from stress that you don't need to face. So almost like if someone were to say, okay, this situation is going to unfold this way, but then they realize it's actually going to be not that bad or better. So you're being protected from this because it's not actually going to be that. It's going to be better, but there's a need for patience in between, if that makes sense. Song and a token. I think it's a road that looks like an 8. Number 42. Infinite highway. Future has infinite possibilities. Long and winding road. Long and winding road. Sunday best by surfaces. The Fool. You're going to be shown what the next step is here on this long and winding road. It feels like you've been taking leaps, but not getting what's in the bag type of thing. But your intuition has been kind of giving you signs that something is going to be changing, something is going to be evolving, and you're going to start getting clear steps of how to enact that change or get to whatever you were trying to get out of changes that you've already made. A message from my guide, Eric. Your balance is being tested because you're meant to realize if someone else is projecting something onto you or if like a message fits you or not. Almost like you're meant to say, okay, I'm standing guard at my mind and I'm not letting that projection in. And it's not a punishment, it's simply like a key pass to get through some kind of doorway, so to speak. So if you can maintain your balance when tested by someone else's projection, the door ahead of you opens. Was just asking if G and A are going to get married. The foundation is there for it to go either way. It feels like there's going to be some kind of major test in their relationship, and it's going to depend on if they're able to heal and get on the same page after that. What was my daughter Kay in her past life? Who are her spirit guides? What? Ooh. Truth seeker and royalty. Truth seeker, royalty, peacemaker. Empty Space by James Arthur. It's kind of I separate from my family to go make a difference because they're more focused on money and I'm focused on healing or helping to heal others. Feels like a healer role death. Yeah, I'm creating a change here. I'm a change maker is how I'd word that. Yeah, 7 of Cups. I'm working for the spirit realm to help people open their eyes. I would say someone who left behind a family that was focused on 3D things because she was focused on 5D change. Is the money wound from my parents? Parents, and there's another factor here. It feels like the original wound was likely from them, and then something that you experienced made you, like, it solidified the wound, like, oh, okay, this didn't work out for me, maybe I'm not worthy, or something like that. So it feels like that and something else. Token and a song from my mother-in-law. Seeds with a shovel. 37. Gardening tools. Start planting start planting seeds and see what grows. Plant a literal garden. Start Jet Airliner by Steve Miller Band. There's someone around you that needs you leading by example to get them out of a dark place right now. You're saying mother-in-law, so I'm wondering if it's a spouse. Oh, 2 of Cups, Knight of Cups. Someone needs you right now more than you think they do, or more than they want to show you that they do. But they don't need you to do anything direct. It's more just like holding space for them, like you already have been. But like your awareness of the way that they need you may help you show up, like with more indirect wisdom to help get them out of the dark place. So like, I'm not giving you advice, but like, I'm giving you advice type of thing, like you to them. How will I meet my future husband? I feel like this is someone you don't know yet, but this is someone who's in the middle of some kind of change in their own life. A cycle needs to come to an end before the two of you find one another. I would say in between 2025 and 2027 seems to be significant. Yeah, it's like they need time to get things back, rebuilding from some kind of loss is kind of what I'd say here. I feel like this person is changing their career or changing what their focus is. It's like they need to start from ground zero type of thing and rebuild, which is what you may be doing during this time period as well. Why is my cousin not talking to me since my grandfather's passing? She moved in with my grandmother as has kept her all to herself. But we were best friends for 5 years now, nothing. Is it possible she's like using your grandmother for something and doesn't want you to see it? Whether that be housing, she moved in with my grandmother, so she moved into the grandmother's. It feels like she has a guilty conscience about something and doesn't want you to see it because you would put an end to it. Feels like she knows that she's not doing something in good faith is how I'd word that. I'm going to do 2 more and then I'm going to hop off. Info on past life. I'm drawing cancer journey. Self-love. Not betraying yourself in terms of state of mind. Staying focused on the positives, staying so focused on the solutions. Not trapping yourself in your mind. The mind can be a very dark and scary place to be, and if that happens and we lock ourselves in there and don't let ourselves escape, it puts us on this backward spiral. So there is some mental strength from a past life that's unlocking in this life now so that you don't get locked in your thoughts at times when you need to be resting. So like if you're supposed to be like literally laying in bed resting and healing from something, you don't want your mind to lock you in there, and you're getting the key. Okay, this is going to be a really weird example, but this is what I'm being shown. Like when people get locked in the trunk of a car and there's like that little thing that they can pull to release the trunk, like if you're being kidnapped, almost like if your mind kidnaps you in dark energy, you're being given the key to unlock the trunk to get out of it when needed. So trust yourself to do that, because at first it may seem scary to open the trunk, but if you open the trunk, you'll be able to see that you can get out of that energy, if that makes sense. Does B know where the swing went? Does B know where the swing went? I know where it went next, but I don't know where it is now. It's probably not where I knew it to be last, if that makes sense. My daughter is going to Mexico next week. Will her trip go okay? I have my grandbabies while she's gone. She'll be okay, yes, but there's some kind of frustration. I don't know if that's with travel. It kind of feels like it's with travel. Almost like I'm in a situation where I have to think on my feet and then I come up with a solution. But it doesn't feel like danger. It just feels like something travel related. So yes, okay, but like needing to stay aware of solutions if something seems to like if something goes wrong, don't panic type thing. With travel though, it feels. All right, everyone. I'm going to hop off. Again, I might hop on for a little bit later in the week. If not, then I still have 15 minutes from last week. So I might add that on to next week if I think next week I'm gonna do 2-hour-and-a-half ones is what I'm gonna do, because I need to catch back up on true crime somehow this week. So yeah, I'm gonna try and have another true crime reading tomorrow. Thank you to my mods. I'm still working through anyone who ordered an October reading. I think I have like 20 left, maybe about. So I'm working on them today as well. So thank you to everyone for being here, and I will talk to you soon.